Alright guys, this is example 4 from the notes to help you with your homework. So a local ice cream shop wants to see the relationship between the number of weeks after the start of winter and the number of customers. Plot the points, find the equation of the best fit line, and the correlation coefficient. So here we have our table of values. Remember, the top is always x, and the bottom is y. And so we're going to plot these points, 1, 200. So you go x is 1, y is 200. 2, 175. 175 falls in between halfway. We're just going to estimate where that is. 4, 175. 5, 150. 6, 125. And 8, 100. That's all the way down here at the bottom. Okay, so when I look at these points, does this data appear to be linear? So overall, I feel like I could draw a line straight through here. I don't see a curve or anything like that. So I'm going to say yes, this data does appear to be linear. And we want to find the equation of the line of best fit. So let's take our calculator. All right, we're going to hit Stat, Edit, and that will take you into the lists. These lists are much shorter, so it's a little bit easier. In list 1, we're going to put all the x values, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. It doesn't matter that they're not all there. Like 3 is missing, that's okay. 7 is missing. And in list 2, put these y values. Make sure that they match up. 200 should be next to the 1. 175 must be next to the 2. You can't change their orders. Once we have all our data sets in, we're going to press Stat. We're going to arrow over to Calc. And we're going to go down and select number 4. I put my information in list 1 and list 2, so that's there. The rest of the stuff is not important. We're going to leave it blank. I'm going to calculate. It reminds us that our formula is ax plus b, and it tells us a and b, which means we just plug in a where the a value goes and b where the b value goes. So we get y equals, the a is negative 13.75. X, and b is a positive number. I'm going to go ahead and just round this up to a whole number, 213.75. I'm just going to say plus 214. So there's my equation for the line of best fit. Let's interpret its slope and y-intercept. Remember what we talked about before. Slope is for each time x increases by 1, what happens to y? So slope is going to be for each additional, x values are weeks after winter. So for each week after winter, the number of customers, because that's what the y is, the number of customers what happened to the number of customers? This is a negative number, so this is going to be decreased. And the slope is really just an average. So decreased and average of 13.75 customers. So what that means is each week after, the more x increased, the lower y got. Okay? So that slope, our y-intercept, is where x is 0. So x is 0 in this case means 0 weeks after winter. So when there are 0 weeks after winter, the estimated number of customers So what is the estimated number of customers? Where our y-intercept is 214. Our estimated number of customers is 214. So that's interpreting our y-intercept and our slope. You want to tell it what it means in the context of this particular problem. Okay, so r, what is my r value? Well, let's go back into our calculator. This is you got there by stat calc 8 in case you went away. Here's our r value on the very bottom. It is negative 0.96. 476, I'm going to say 9648. I like to go like 4 decimal places out on correlation because it's such a small range for it. So what does this mean in this problem? So 0.96, that's strong. It's a negative. The shape is linear. There's a strong negative linear correlation between x and y. So x is the number of weeks since winter between the number of weeks since winter and the number of customers. The further past winter they get, the smaller number of customers that they have at the store. So using this formula, find the estimated number of customers if it is 3 weeks after winter. 3 weeks, if you have trouble, remember weeks is right here, that's an x value. So that means we're going to plug 3 in for x. So y equals negative 13.75 times x, which in particular I'm asking about 3, plus 214. So when I put this in my calculator, negative 13.75 times 3 plus 214 gives me 172.75. And we're talking about customers. So maybe on a multiple choice test they would have rounded that to 173. Okay, it is an estimated number, so obviously you can't have partial customers, but we're just estimating based off this line. All right, let's try part F using the formula. Find the estimated number of weeks after winter if there are 145 customers. They're telling us 145 customers. When I look back at my table, customers is a y value. That means that 145 goes into the y spot. Now this one we cannot put in the calculator, we're just going to have to solve it. It's a two-step equation. We want to get x alone, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move this 214 over to get it off this side. I end up with negative 69 equals negative 13.75 x. Divide both sides by negative 13.75. And x equals 5.01, or it's about 5 weeks after winter. They'll have 145 customers. All right, so hopefully this clarifies some to help you answer question number 9 on the homework. The other questions you certainly should be able to do. So if you have any questions, be sure you come in and see me in the morning or email me. See you tomorrow.